Great. We are recording. Hello, welcome to the Psychic Pool Party. I forget what Joey always says, but we know the kids are okay. Nobody gets sunburned. And on this week, we have all of our ancestors and our Orishas ready to read for you because Graciela and I are taking questions. We're just gonna jump into it. Oh, we have a nice bunch of people here. Oh, this is exciting. So actually, to make things even more exciting, Graciela and I have not talked before this, so we don't know how this is going to go. But you know what? We're professionals. We're going to handle it appropriately. I made sure I brought my topiaries because I know my girl Graciela likes a topiary. I don't know, do you?
Not particularly.
Sure, I take a topiary. Whatever.
Work.
So did you bring cards with you today?
I don't have cards. I have my pendulum, and I could do yeah. I just have my pendulum today, and I could send Reiki, all of that. So.
Okay. Good enough for me. I'll take it all, actually. So we do the first question. I am going to ask everybody as we go if they would like to either type in a question or they would like to be brought onto the screen to talk for the reading. That sound good? Carol did send the question first. And she was first at the pool party. So I'm going to ask her if, Carol, do you want us to bring you on the screen or should we just answer your question? Okay, well, if you don't answer in the immediate, I'm going to read your question because you did send it to me on the little Q&A at the bottom of the screen. Oh, Lauren's here too. Hey, Lauren. Okay, here is her question. I currently find myself living in an apartment where I haven't lived for 4 years. I took my cats with me and moved back to Staten Island to care for my mother. Okay, just answer the question. I'm not dressed. Of course not. It's 11 a.m. on a Saturday in a pandemic. So question is, well, what is your question behind that? Because that could go a number of ways. So do you want to know if you'll stay there? Do you want to know what's next? Give me something a little more based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a few people here and I'd like to get to everybody for sure. So if you can, that would be great.
Yes, I'm so happy that we got questions today. This is great.
I know. I was like, will anybody show? I don't know if anyone's going to show, but somebody will show. Oh, we got another question. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, when will I get back into my own home? Okay, that is the question. Okay, do you want to jump in first with the pendulum and then I'll begin to do my thing?
Sure. So just in case people, should I just introduce the pendulum just in case people don't know?
Absolutely. Let's give this a little bit of an intro.
Okay, first. So pendulum is basically anything that has weight to it and that has some kind of string or length to it where it can read the energies. And so what I do, it's basically a way that we can connect with spirit directly, another divining way where we can ask questions. And I use it particularly in my practice as far as like chakra alignment. Like when I'm doing Reiki, I can read specific parts in the body, like organs even, if we get that specific. And it shows me the energy and where it's blocked and where it's not. And so when I ask the pendulum a question, there's a certain way that I'm gonna do. I'll demonstrate for you. And basically, I get an answer. It's a yes or no question. So we always have to answer yes or no. And basically, we have to ask first, like, show me a yes, show me a no, because the energies can be different all the time. So that's pretty much how I do it. I actually don't use a tip. I don't. Oh, hello. Sorry. Let's do that again. I don't actually use a Oh, I use my belly chain. It was actually a belly chain that it doesn't fit my belly no more. And it has like, different crystals on it. And it was made like from a beautiful divine sister of mine. And then I got gifted this crystal from Mount Shasta, from a sister while I was doing the moon dance in Mexico. And so I just put that together. So people ask me like, do I have to like buy a particular pendulum? I've seen people use like pocket watches. I've seen like, whatever kind of works. So you just feel whatever it is, and then anybody could do it. To be honest, I feel like anybody can tap into a lot of these things. So that's why I like to explain. You could always try, see how it resonates with you. And so then I hold it up. Because it's a belly chain, it's pretty long. So I just wind it up a little bit, and I put it here in front of me, and I'm just gonna ask. And first, I always, before I do anything, I always thank, the energies that be, Great Spirit, and then I ask. So, what's the person's name?
Carol, maybe we can ask if she'll be going back to her apartment by the end of the year.
Great Spirit, we're calling on you to ask your clarification on this question for Carol. Will she be going back to her house by the end of the year? If you can first show me a yes. Thank you. So the yes is back and forth. Show me a no. And it's sideways. So one is this way and the other one is this way.
Right.
Back and forth, and no, side to side. Okay, thank you. So will Carol be going back to her home before the end of the year? Will Carol be going home to her house before the end of the year? So I got a no. I have a no.
Okay.
You want to get specific?
Well, I'm going to jump in because I was reading while you were doing that. And actually what I got was, I'm singing January, February.
Okay.
There is a reason why, not just to take care of your mother, but there's a bigger reason while you're back. There's a little bit of an amends that needs to happen while you're there. And I'm reading, actually, Carol, it's a little bit of the ucky stuff that we have to sort of sift through. And of course, when it comes under the guise of something else, sometimes it's a lot easier to approach. But this is really your time to flesh out a lot of stuff. Also, come January, February, now mind you, for the world, January, February is a big time anyway, just because we're going to be through this and faster than we think and slower than we think at the same time.
Yes.
But this time for you, Carol, is really so specific to you getting rid of whatever is left over, because January, February changes everything. Work, money, there's a lightening of your load in ways you didn't really anticipate possible. It's so keyed into you that literally physically it's going to feel bigger and like lifted off of you. So I feel like, literally like it's a 50-pound weight that comes off your shoulders. That's how it feels to me by the end of the year. I don't think you're going to be really at your mom's completely consistently. I feel like you can you will have, I don't think you're going to be living elsewhere, but you are going to find a fluidity so that you do not actually feel trapped in the moment. You're going to get a little bit creative with the come and go of it. Also, you need to ask for a little bit of help. Because there is somebody out there who is willing to give you help, and it kind of feels like in the shape of like, I don't know, somebody professional.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm picking that up too. Like I'm almost seeing like a donation of sorts, or just like
sort of like a nurse or something like that, like almost like something that can come in, not a nurse, but somebody who's already skilled at taking care of and can come into the house and give you time off. Because this is actually this is a past life thing for you and your mom too. So there's a little bit of coming to a head on this, but it's going to be so finely played for you. This actually, it could not happen for you at a better time. Actually, to tell you the truth. I mean, you know, moving back in with your folks can go a million different ways. And moving to Staten Island can also go a million different ways. But this one, I feel like it really is, this is a full circle for you so that everything else this year can be sort of like unloaded for sure.
Yeah. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of deep healing, but like in the family dynamic. And that there's going to be, you know, at first there might be some tension and even like some rocky times, but that that's the work. I feel like that's a part of the work, but I think it's going to really be beneficial in the end, and that there's going to be, by the time that you leave, there's going to be a lot of harmony and peace within the relationship, and even like healing a lot of past stuff that has gone on. That's what I feel.
Are you, Graciela, I'm picking up that she's going to find out a secret that's going to make sense of a lot of things in the family. So there's a bit of information that your mom has. It's the kind of thing that I think as a parent, you're like, a child doesn't need to know, but the adult might. But of course, in some ways, you never look at your kid as an adult, or many of us don't. So I think that, right, so you're like, oh, well, now they really don't need to know. But actually, it would be extremely helpful because as you read, Carol, you're a little bit of somebody who would rather go through the fine tooth comb of everything and get rid of it. Let me know if that resonates with you in any way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to, should we move on?
Yes, yes, that's great.
Okay, here we go. I'm actually, this is somebody who I read for often. So I am going to give it a little bit more to you, Graciela.
Okay.
Okay. So Elizabeth said there's a lot of negative around my life and has been for quite a while in areas of home, family, love, and money. When will this start to turn into positives and joy again? A lot of deep unhappiness. I feel like I'm cursed. What is happening? So Elizabeth, let's sort of, can you type in a little bit more of a, oh, thank you, Carol. She said it does resonate. Excellent. Yay. Okay. Can you type in a more direct question, a yes and no? Because we could be here for a while unearthing a lot of this. So let's put this a little bit more of a question, and then I'll get back to it. I'm going to move on to the next one. This is from our friend Darren, who always comes to us. Hi, Darren. The last couple of years have been a roller coaster with regards to my finances, switching jobs. It's been a struggle at times, and this current situation is not helping. Do you see this getting better soon? It's affecting my overall health. Okay. Can I jump on this one real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, bing. So, Darren, a couple of things here hit really fast and very easy for me. One of the, let me look at this question again, because I want to see how you're wording it as well. Okay. You know, Darren, you're a lot more intuitive than you allow yourself to admit. And a lot of this, as far as panic and worry, and understandably speaking, but just to alleviate it in the first bit of this, you got to trust yourself a little bit more. Then you kind of have to trust the world around you. You were brought into this life to be here, right? One of the things we all signed up for was this, whether we like it or not. We signed up, like, right? So before we got here, we did. So that being said, Darren, a couple of things. A, I'd like you to trust yourself a little bit more and to alleviate your body of that panic.
Yes.
That's the one thing, and I'm speaking completely as a medical intuitive at this point. There needs to be more trust with you. Also, one of the things about the whole money thing, oh, wait a minute, I should ask Darren, do you want to come on screen? Or do you want to sit around in your panties like with Carol? In your bathing britches with Carol? Just type in a quick yes or no, or I'll just keep going. But if you want to come on screen with us, so I can get an immediate. Oh, sure.
Oh,
okay, great. Woo! You get to actually see what he looks like. Okay, here we go. This way I can get a reaction really quickly from him.
Yeah, good.
Okay, Darren. Hey, Darren.
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
Do it this way, maybe.
Okay.
I lost
you.
there.
Hey, Darren.
Hello.
Hi. So, I'm going to go back again. You are far more intuitive than you let on. You hear things and you see things is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. My partner has often said that actually about me, that I do pick up on things, and I don't know if I just don't believe it or I don't.
Well, sure, because we're raised in this world not to, right? That's how we've been told to raise our kids. Like, come on in, don't listen to your gut feelings, listen to me because I can teach you how to stay alive in the world, right? Even if it doesn't work for everybody. That being said, one of the big things about sort of understanding where your tuition, when it comes to a point at which you are forced to sit in front of another intuitive professional and they say to you, I see it in you. It means it's time to pay attention to your intuition a little bit more, because your own panic comes from your lack of your own trust of yourself.
Yeah.
And it reads to me like something pretty intense that happened from the ages 7, 8, 9. Whatever was going on. Now, sometimes that stands out as a direct knowing of trauma, and sometimes that comes out very much as something like just what you were going through, or a thing you heard from an adult that really resonated over and over and again, because we have those really intense moments, right? Because we're new to being on the earth, right? We're like, you have to show me how to survive. That being said, you actually, if you could just release a little bit more of the distrust, get rid of that a little bit, and it's more than trusting, release the distrust. You know, if you're not ready to trust, at least get rid of the negative grasp of it. Mm-hmm. You're going to find it much easier for yourself, because your panic, the way you work as your body reads right now, your panic comes right before anything actually happens. You almost like, you predetermine your own panic, you know, just to sort of protect yourself so you don't have to like panic later. And we don't need you to panic. We need you to sort of like glide in. Now, that being said, I see for you very much, now get ready. There's going to be a big shift in the fall. I don't love a timeline because the spirits don't know time and you have free will. But when I hear it, I tell you, you're going to have a big shift of your work in the fall. Right now, things are going to be what they are. We're all getting used to what it is. But trust me, you're never going to be homeless, and you're never going to be without food, and you're never going to be without electricity. So once you have that, you're actually okay. You know what I mean? Like, we may not be going on vacation this year, but you have all the things that you need, importantly.
A shift for the good, or just a shift? We don't know if it's
for the good. Oh no, for the good. There's going to be a big shift in the fall for the good.
Okay.
The key thing is I need you to sort of relax the panic, because health-wise, I'm concerned. And we don't have our health, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm a little concerned about that. You do have a little bit of a tendency toward an autoimmune because of the panic, and so try to, if you can, there needs to be a reconnection with your mind and body. And that's really important, because, you know, when we go through anything traumatic, and the human experience is always a little bit traumatic, we all have our moments, right? Our mind knows that it happened years ago, but the body always remains in the state as if it had just happened. So even we're like, well, I know it's over, but your body doesn't. And we have great disconnect right now between our minds and our bodies, because we don't listen to what our gut tells us, right? Gut, however we feel it. So I don't worry about you with work. I worry about you on the road to that work. So you do need, I would actually, if this was not the world that it was, I would tell you to go get a float, you know, do the float in like the pods, because you need to be like deep in water and lots of like, having all that salt calm your ions and neutralize them. So if you can sit in the tub or even soak your feet with lots of Epsom salts and, or anything like that, highly, highly recommended for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Also start studying up on your intuition.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely resonate with what Heather was saying as well. What was coming up for me too was that this gift, like it's actually, you can really cultivate this if you release that fear. And but the fear, I also think, is related to whatever happened when you were younger. I see personally like a woman like reprimanding and somehow like, shaming or blaming, and that created this deep fear that you've been holding on to. And I think once that fear is able to lift, I think I also see, do you have a meditation structure or process or anything?
No, my partner keeps telling me every day to do it.
Yeah,
because so he constantly sends me like Instagram posts about this is how you meditate. So I need to.
I see you, like in my mind, I see you at your best, like meditating. I feel like that would really help. And it doesn't necessarily mean to look like you just sitting and like, there's definitely many different types of meditation. I see as you more of a physical person. Like as far as like movement, like I feel like movement can be very meditative to you. Like, do you run or?
I walk a lot. So this whole thing is, I've been working in retail, so I've been on my feet forever. So sitting around these last
that's really hard
months has sucked. So like I don't sit down typically during the day. I'm on my feet for 8 or 9 hours. So this has been weird. So.
Yeah, and I think movement, even just like whether it's like I said, like running, exercise, but with the intention of like focusing on your breath while you're doing it, even setting attention beforehand. My intention is to release this trust, and really like call in that trust in yourself, even while you're exercising or while you're walking. That can, things you might hear, some messages, some things might even come to you in that process. It can be super meditative as well, rather than you just sitting and breathing, even though that's, great if that works for you. But I just feel like I see your energy as more like a movement meditation would work better.
Yeah, okay. I can't sit and meditate. They're like, oh, Heather's open for business. I start hearing and seeing all the things. So for me, it's always like when I work out, I have to lift heavy things. I have to walk. Walking that, anything that's like constant and moving, I'm good. Dance, anything like that. Yeah.
I feel like I can zone out easier if I'm walking. If I sit and try to meditate, then my mind just goes.
It's not for everybody. The practice is so specific. What we do to get to that space is not for everybody. It's true.
Do you have a bicycle, Darren?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see that can be very meditative for you too. Biking, like, I don't know where you're residing, but if you could like, go along, especially water, if you have that access or ability to bike by water, I think.
Yeah, Heather knows, right? I live in New Hope, Pennsylvania, so there's a canal path along the Delaware, so there's a lot of biking there. So maybe I will take my bike down there.
Yes, I think that would be very clearing and helpful for you. Yeah,
I'll try that. Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Darren. It's great to see you today.
You too. I'll just. Do I close this?
No, I got it. We're good.
Okay. All right.
There we go. Oh, that was fun. Okay. Elizabeth, you have to sort of close down the question a little bit more. It's getting kind of big and I can only pick one of these questions. So if you can narrow it down, okay. Okay. Oh, this answers it. We might have more for you, Karen. So I'm going to go to Lauren. Lauren, can we bring you on?
Oh, you're welcome, Darren.
You're welcome, Darren. Lauren, let me know if I can bring you on. You can put it in the chat. Oh, yes, she said yes. Great. Lauren is also a practitioner, a health and wellness practitioner. She does all sorts of amazing things. Here we go. Bringing in Lauren. Oh, okay.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren.
Hello.
Pool party.
I really wanted to find my bathing suit top to wear
Oh.
for this, but sadly I'm still in my pajamas and I'm drinking coffee and not a fun drink. But I'm in the theme and spirit.
I'm also a little bit in my pajamas, and
yes, but your background is everything.
well, I wanted to, I feel like, Joey's on his way to Provincetown, and I felt like we had to honor that a little bit.
Amazing.
We have to bring his energy in,
Yeah, because he loves the topiary too, right?
Yes.
I think I'm gonna have to work on my situation, my upgrade from my the Walmart pool we had last time to this. So, Lauren, do you want to sort of give us the question now that we have you here?
Yeah, so I know I said two very different things. I was kind of just like my first inclination was to ask if my mom had any messages for me. She passed away in February of 2019. But also my husband and I have been looking at houses for the past year and we actually ended up going and looking at houses yesterday, which was very bizarre. You have to sign waivers and you go in by yourself and you're in masks and gloves and so we did see a house in particular that we really loved. And so I was like, they're just so different. I'm like, mom, house, maybe they're related. Maybe my mom has a message about the house. I don't know. But if you guys are one or the other, you're kind of going with, I'm really open to whatever you guys have any insight on.
Oh, do you want me to jump or you want to jump?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. When you just said, then we saw one that we both really loved.
Yeah.
I literally got a touch like this on my face.
Whoa.
So it is. Now, one of the things, what's always interesting about reading real estate is that you read what's sort of fated, hopefully to happen, ideally, right? And of course, like I say, you guys have free will and things happen. Also, you're also reading the energy of the house, and the land, because people forget, you talk about energy of a house, even haunted houses, it also has to do more with the land than the house. I see you safe in that house. That's how it came across to me, which to me sounds extremely motherly. And for somebody to put their hand on my face. So I would really, I think if you want that house, it can be your house. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a practice in patience for that house because there is an emotional attachment from the person who's trying to sell it. And also the person who's selling it, the seller, is having a really hard time right now with the way the world is. We all are. But this person, as a lot of us do, acts out with money and worth and has an abundance issue. So be patient. Don't give in too much. But you do have to sort of be at your kindest for this house. And I see that house as yours, actually.
Yeah, I see it. I see it as theirs too. It's I think I'm hearing December. I don't know why, but I'm hearing December.
You start work now, December could totally happen, right?
True.
Especially now that there's sort of also at some point, I think you might feel like you lose the house, but you don't because life. But I think at some point they're going to sort of, it's part of them both seeing what their best options are but also them trying to really sloppily play the real estate game. They're trying to keep things as normal as possible, and playing the real estate game was very normal a few months ago. It's no longer normal.
Yeah, no, definitely. That
Right.
really resonates. And like my mom actually like left us part of her like life insurance to buy the house. So it is really tied to my mom. So it makes sense that, yeah, the hand and for sure. Totally.
But yeah, that house is yours if you want it.
Amazing.
You may end up in another house, by the way, but
Yeah.
that house is yours if you want it.
But it just is going to require some like finagling on your part and flexibility. I see, like, yeah, just you maybe not getting exactly what you like the price, but being a slightly more flexible than you are ready for, if that is the real house that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We've like put in previous offers on things that obviously weren't meant to be, and like everything you're saying is like, and just yeah, it's like a whole new ball game now. It's like who knows what's happening at this stage
It's
in
really
the game.
different right now. It's really
Yeah.
different now.
Yeah. Thank you. That was amazing.
Lauren, it's so good to see you,
So
Lauren.
good to see you too. I'm so glad we had that one hangout that I get to keep reminiscing about. Like,
We'll have to Zoom soon, that's all.
yeah, definitely. That'd be amazing.
Okay,
So nice to see you both. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to the pool.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, love then. So Elizabeth says, so love then. So love, a relationship that I was very connected to ended recently. And even though I knew there were many problems, I was very connected, of course. We all are. I'm having trouble moving forward from it. I know I've been told there is someone else out there. I'm starting to doubt, when does he show up and how do we connect? So why don't we jump in with Graciela first on this one?
Yeah.
And, oh wait, here it is. I ask about love, when I will find my person, and where I feel blind, that's where I feel blind. Other areas I feel like I have the ability to shift things more easily. So shall we word the question? How should we word that question?
Well, I'm actually seeing already that there's, in order for, I'm sorry, what's the person's name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, in order for you to really start aligning and connecting with your partner, I see that there's a lot more self-time and self-love that needs to happen. I feel like Heather could speak more to this, but I feel like a block actually here in the chest, or some kind of heaviness here, that is even like preventing from like really caring for yourself in the way that because a lot of times we look outside of ourselves for somebody to bring us that caring, that energy, that love, and a lot of times if we start focusing that energy back on ourselves and really not relying so much on creating somebody else, that in actuality we are getting ready for our person. You know, the more that we tap in with ourselves, the more that we connect to our own self-worth and all of that. So I feel like that might be something to, like, you know, really dive into more about giving yourself time. Like, you know, like whether it's like going to, well, actually we can't go anywhere, but even if it's like, you know, just taking some self time, like really even using this time for really figuring out what you want, like, you know, and not even just as a partner, but for yourself, and to really take a look at what areas in your life you feel like you can give yourself a little bit more self-care. That's kind of what I'm feeling.
Well, I will say, because I've read Elizabeth many times, that's exactly actually what I read for her the last couple of times. It's a little bit more, you need to pay a little more attention to you, and you're not in the habit of it, my love. And you deserve so much more care. You deserve so much more care. no, you're not cursed. You were in the thick of big freaking growth. Obviously, as things go, we've been at quite the standstill for a lot of us, and unfortunately, we're in cause to like grapple with our own ick, and we got a lot of ick to grapple with. Everybody does. I don't know. You know me. I don't think that you're cursed even remotely. I'm not one who even believes much in curses as much as movement of energy. So in all of it, and you have had a very, very difficult last number of years for sure. It's really all about it. You have to like literally luxuriate yourself in the way that you want somebody to throw luxury at you. So, and you know, when we read together, you're in it. It's hard to hold it after reading sometimes. I know that. I do with myself when I get read, when I'm feeling all that good energy, and sometimes I can't keep it with me because I don't have the faith in it. But you really, for you, is all about, you must throw luxury at yourself because you have to get used to having that luxury all the time, all the time. You actually have a soul's contract to have a more luxurious life, second half of your life. So, but you got to get used to it. Otherwise, we belittle it in ourselves for sure. Also, your younger daughter getting much better within what this situation is. She's going to feed from this very well. I can go into more, but I just happen to have that, know the connection with your younger daughter. And actually this time she's really going to grow from this for sure. So that's good. The next one. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. I tried to bring you on, but something is not working in my chats. You are not going through. So, but I love you, and I'll hopefully see you soon for sure. Okay, I'm going to go to Marga. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. Marga, can I bring you on screen? Let's see. Okay. Can I bring you on? Oh, she says yes. Okay. Let's see. Joey's so much better at this.
Well, we're doing the best we can. Joey, we miss you. No.
Joey, where are you, Joey? Okay. He's traveling luxuriously with his boyfriend. Okay, here we go, Marga.
Yay.
Okay, and her question is in the chat. Okay. Here we go. Here she comes. Feel her coming down the cabanas. Okay. Hello, hello.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can.
And I don't know why you can't see me.
I don't know either.
Let's see.
Let's see.
We saw you for a second and then you disappeared.
Oh no.
Like before when you were coming on.
Well, we're gonna jump into the question while you figure that out. First of all, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, Marga.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so your question is, you have a disruptive neighbor below you in your apartment building. Would it be best for me to move immediately or stay and hope he calms down? Have you contacted authorities at all?
Yes, I did.
Okay, because I definitely saw that, and I was wondering if this was future or past. It's intense. Yeah, I think I'm picking up that disruptive is probably the more gentle word than really he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he got really angry and was yelling and screaming to someone downstairs. And then I reported that. And then the next day, he kind of, I think he was like stalking me and found me in the hallway in the stairwell and gave me a very evil look.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a little more than disruptive. That's aggressive. Do you want to, Graciela?
Yeah, I was just picking up actually that is there addiction involved?
I know nothing about him.
Oh, okay. So you don't know him at all.
Yeah, I never met him before, and I'm assuming the person that gave me the evil look was him. And, you know, I reported it to the police and to the landlord, and neither of them can do anything about it. And I just wondered if it would be more beneficial if I leave, even though I do love my apartment.
I will tell you, I don't see you leaving, but I do see you having to make sort of like a more grand gesture. I'm not sure what that is.
For some reason, I see you going to court or like, I don't know, in the future, like something that maybe happens. It's nothing like horrible, but that there will be an instance that will lead to something where they actually can make some kind of claim, because right now there's nothing. But I don't even know if what's going to happen is necessarily involving you. It might be with somebody else. And maybe, yeah, that you know, makes a claim. Is there other people in the building?
Yeah, but he figured that I was the person that reported on him. There's a lot of young people here who probably don't report things.
Wait a minute, you say he does know or he doesn't know?
The landlord said he figured out it was me that told on him.
Yeah, he has a, first of all, yeah, I'm agreeing with Graciela. He does have an addiction. He has a pretty brutal addiction, actually. I don't see you moving out. I see you perhaps leaving for a little bit. Also, he has a health issue. He might have the virus, to tell you the truth. And I feel like that's going to come to fruition in the next month. Now, that being said, you know, you can get sick and remain sick for quite a while. But he is going to have a really big physical problem / shift. Now, it looks like an attack on the body to me. Okay, this gets messier. I'm just going to tell you what I see.
Okay.
I think he's that level of sick. Now, I see virus. Now, whether it could be HIV or it could be COVID, because that vibration actually reads interestingly. But it's not the HIV that's in it. I'm just reading him physically. He's going to be down for the count for a while. It's going to sort of alter the way he is. I would, though, make a decision that you're not going to be afraid. Now, you can be fearful because you have to be careful, but do be really careful of it. Also, the super's kind of sloppy about it. Because
I don't think he take it seriously. I feel like he's not taking it seriously.
No, he's not. So the guy probably figured it out because the super didn't deter it either. I don't see that you're I don't see your inherent harm.
No.
I'm not, so where you may feel the fear, you are completely correct to, because you will have to sort of walk around things, but that guy is going to be down for the count with something. Now, whether this is an OD or something, but his body is about to give in. He's not going to pass, but he definitely is down for the count for a while. So I would expect not to be able to hear from him for a while.
Well, I can believe all that. I mean, I kind of sense all that myself. I
Okay.
just don't know if I should stay or go.
I don't see there's a reason to go right now.
Okay.
And I'm the first one to be like, get yourself the hell out of harm's way.
Okay.
Always.
I feel like he's more destructive to himself than anyone else.
Right.
You know, I feel like he might cause tangentially harm, but not like, you know, not physically, and that I don't see you in danger.
No, but he's going to get sick enough so that he's just going to be laid up for a long time. It's going to change the way he sees things, largely because I think he's going to just stop doing drugs and sort of have to face himself. He
Mhm.
also is about to experience a death in his life. So, not that you need to know those details, but this reading is for you. So you're getting that information. So you know that like, he's not going to be coming after. So I don't see you moving right now.
Okay.
Of course, if you really feel strongly about it and you need to, listen to yourself.
Mhm.
I don't see the need to directly right now. And believe me, especially when it comes into women living alone, I'm always like, get the hell out if you have to. But I'm not reading it that way.
Gotcha. Because I was contemplating it and then started looking around for places, and it's just, I didn't find anything, and it's so stressful. And do I need the added stress? Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, a lot of it also somewhat is a little bit like, get a little angry about it. Like, fuck that. I'm not that that's going to, not that it's going to make you feel any safer, but a little bit of adrenaline right now through this. One of the things about somebody who's in his state of mind is also like, they're keenly sensitive to how other people act and react for their sensitivity. And they know where they can sort of give the evil eye and have a reaction.
Right.
And he's all about intimidation, this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's all about it. So if anything, smile more. Like, like, thought you needed flowers. Not that you should go out and kiss his ass, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see you being harmed in any way. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I've been avoiding him, and I was wondering, like, if I do run into him, I don't want to like escalate anything. So I like the approach of just, being calm and confident and smiling.
Yes, definitely.
okay.
Okay, thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you, Marga. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me put you back. And okay, we have one more question. Perfect timing.
Yay.
Okay, Karen, can we bring you on, or would you like to stay off?
This is great.
Sure. You said sure. Okay, great.
Yay.
Oh, this is a good one too, this next question. Okay, here we go. Okay, hello, Karen. I used to know a Karen Young. Are you that Karen Young? Are you the Karen Young? Hi. Hang on, let me unmute you. Okay. Oop. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And
Yeah.
actually joining us again. I believe you've been to the pool before.
I love the pool party.
Okay.
Yay.
You love knowing that. And how do we know you, Karen?
I through Instagram.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yay.
I like when it brings good and not evil. So.
Yeah, no. And then I had a reading with you once, and then you told me about the pool party, and then
Right. Okay. I do
I
agree.
was like, I love this.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Of course. I read you recently.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. It's funny because when you have your wrap on, it's
Yeah. Yeah. I have not showered in about 3 days, so I had to do something.
I feel that. Okay. Should I read the question, or would you like to sort of read it for yourself?
Yeah, so it's something that I think about a lot when I was young. I don't know how long, but I was living in Hawaii, and I don't remember my dreams very often, but I was looking out the window, and there were tons of stars, and I swear I saw a car in the sky.
A
It
car.
looked like a car that it was vertical, and it was flipping over this way, and I could see like its undercarriage, and I could see it in the sky, and it was not super close, but enough that I could see something, like, you know, and it made an impression on me. And I remember watching it for a while and just noticing all the stars. And then that was, but it's so imprinted on my mind. And I think about it so often. And I just always wonder, like, was that a dream?
That's a good
I don't
one.
know if you can, I don't know if that's something that you can actually read or know, but
I
I
can
just
tell you what
think about it.
I can tell you what my psychic reaction
I
is.
would love that.
Do you want to go into this, Graciela, or who should?
I think you got it.
I don't see that as a dream. I don't see it as a dream. Now, let's talk about the definition of dream.
Right, right.
Right?
This, I
So,
love the pool party. I love this.
okay. Okay. So, dream is visions that we have when we're asleep, ideally, right?
Right.
Now, we talk about daydream, and daydream is really just our imagination activating, right? Now, I'm going to go off a little bit and I'm going to come back around, okay?
Right.
So one of the best, two things. One, when somebody asked me recently, where in you does this come from? How would you describe this thing, right? My reading, my everything. And I will say this, the closest thing that it comes to, which I believe is that moment when you're doing something creative in which you realize you're doing something and you're at peace and you are where you're supposed to be. Painting, writing, building, even for some people it's flowcharts, but they get it. Their minds and their sense of things is all together. That's where I am when I read.
Right.
Now, the other thing I wanted to say was I was in a class, and I usually don't take classes for this sort of work, but I wanted to learn more about the Akashic records. It comes up in my readings a lot, and I wanted to understand what the structure was. And there's only one teacher I would go to, and somebody said to her, and it was all levels of professionals, right? Like energy working for Reiki people and stuff like that. And somebody said, well, how do I know if what I'm seeing are not my files, but my imagination? And she said, if you're getting the right information, what's the difference? Right?
I love that.
Because when you can't put your finger on it, you can always say anything's your imagination. And also we're always told, well, blah, 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 it's your imagination. But if that's a vision that you're supposed to be seeing, and I'm hearing very clearly that is not a dream, and we have so little concept of what's really available to us, whether it be just nature or ourselves or anything galactic. We don't know anything. We're learning, but we don't know anything, right? So I hear so clearly that that is not a dream. And I feel almost like you kind of got a little bit of a, and it's gonna sound a little sci-fi-ish, but it's as best as I can describe it, a little bit of the crack in the dimension. You know? And we have such, you know, like people talk about like parallel universes. It's always like right now we all feel like we're probably in one at this point, right?
Yeah.
The fact is we have understanding these things are written about and created and fantasy because and it's always the same story. Why is it always the same story? It's because we don't know what's really tangible for us. I do see you as a young person seeing something that is tangible. Now, mind you, you've had a reading with me, so you know I can be very frank about a lot of things. I'm a little salty around my edges. But if I really thought you were seeing something that was like fake or made up, I would ask you to like now sort of consider what your real options are, but also put yourself into it and sort of like look at the situation and say like, you saw a crack in something.
You know what's so crazy is well, it's not crazy. What's so interesting, this thread is really showing itself right now in my life, like really starting to like cinch itself up. Just before I drew my cards this morning, I used Kim Kranz's archetype deck as well as the mystical shaman deck by, I don't know. But for me, they work really well together. And my two cards this morning were the owl and the fault line, which the fault line is, of course, I mean, they're actually right here. So
There you go. The
Oh,
fault.
that's it. Wow.
yeah, I mean, and this whole other dimension, it's just really, it gives me, yeah.
Well, that's what I saw. I saw a crack in the dimension. So
Yeah.
boom.
There we go. Woo.
Magic here at the pool, no doubt.
Wow. So thank you. So this
Oh, God, thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of people hear and see and have memories like that, and they fear sharing them. So, and it gives me also a moment to sort of comment on that kind of thing, because that's also the kind of thing where, as I was saying, you know, I'm kind of very matter of fact, and I believe that everything that we do is based on science. So, but those things are really substantial. We have to remember that they exist and why.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. Really, that was really beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Okay, well, I'll be hearing from you soon. I'll be seeing you by the pool.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wow, that was amazing. And the visual?
Oh,
That
love
was,
the visual.
yes, even Darren was like, wow, yeah. Talk about confirmation. Okay. Wow, but that is so amazing though. I love that. Like being able to, you know, really a lot of us have had those type of memories. And we always, at least, well, I can't say we, but whenever I have those types of things, I'm always like, oh no, that can't have happened. Or, you know, like, especially when I was younger. I mean, now I'm way open more to different possibilities, but a lot of these things they're happening to us for a reason, you know? So that's amazing.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, well, that was perfect timing for all of this.
Yay.
Hang on one second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so somebody wanted a private question. Okay. Okay, so anyway, thank you everybody for coming to the pool party.
Yes.
Graciela, this was so much fun. I hope we do it again soon.
I feel like we should do this maybe like every couple of months or something. Just open it up, whether Joey or not, you know?
Maybe we'll do it for holidays or you know what? We'll make up holidays. Let's just make up holidays and do it.
Wait, when should the next holiday? What's the next holiday?
No, is there a balloon day or a
Ooh, balloons. Oh, I love balloons. Or bubble. How about bubble day?
Bubbles are better. They're not as harmful to the environment. What's a bubble day?
Bubble day. Maybe bubble day should be in June or July.
Oh, that would be good.
To bring bubbles by the pool.
Everyone loves bubbles by the pool. Then there's usually disco music, and I like that. So.
Oh yes. Bring out your sparkly suit.
I do love a little sparkle. I do. Well, Graciela, it's always great. And thank you so much, everybody, for coming with us. We're going to be back in our regular format next week. Who's the guest? I don't know, but we're going to find out really soon.
I love it. We just are so go with the flow here. It's great.
You know, we'll see who we bring in, who's available, who's not. You never know, but we always have a good time. We love you, Joey. I always want to say the vacation in Joey stocks. And we'll see you next week. Thank you. Oh, wait, Darren says natural bubbly day is June 6th.
Oh, it's a thing?
Oh.
We thought we were so well, maybe that could be, I mean, maybe that's it.
You know, judgments here. We talk about flying cars. No judgments here. We're out.
No.
Okay. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Love
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.